Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video, we're going to preview week 2 of the 2025 NBL Supercoach season, as well as an update with the NBA Supercoach. So for NBL, we did get off to a winning start, winning 379 to 328 against the coach, who is in a little bit of trouble at the moment, so don't know what's happening with that. But I guess it doesn't really matter so much for our team. So it does reset your team every week, so we do have to go in through the game day to see how we went. So for round 1, so 379 for us. And so I think the big difference maker there was captaining Jackson Cartwright. So I've got to do a bit of maths because it's triple scores for the captains. I think he scored 54, if my maths is any good. Which was obviously handy to triple. Magne with a 46, we got doubled, so I think we did pretty well with the captaincy picks. Could have got maybe a little bit more if we'd VC Doyle. Yeah, VC Doyle. So, um, yeah, testing my maths brain out. But, the coach, Captain Magne, and VC Bannon, so, that was definitely where we made up the difference. But if we have a look at the league, so I only finished 10th out of 23. So number 1 on the list was Johnny's team. I don't know if I can see his team. Yes, I can. So he captained Edwards and VC'd Hamilton. So I think they were the 2 top scorers for the round 2. So that's fantastic. So I guess these 277k guys are usually like the new players that have come in from somewhere else. So obviously Johnny knows his stuff when it comes to NBL. Well done, legend. Had Magne, Bannon, Delaney also with the 36, and then Ben Ayre as the 6-man with an 18-point return. So awesome start, Johnny. I wonder how that sits him overall, because I was sitting, I think, okay overall. Does it tell us? Oh, it doesn't really. There's no overall thing here. That's a bit stiff. Actually, if I bring the team up, does it tell me? So 22nd overall. Well done, Johnny. Cracking start to the season. But yeah, we'll have a look at the other players that went well this week to get an idea. As I said, Hamilton and Edwards were the top 2 this week, clearing away. So definitely something we need to consider. Illy with a 55 rather, was quite good. Obviously, we went the more expensive route with Jackson Cartwright. Johnson with 54. Harrison was awesome with 52 in just the one game. So I guess he was the number 1 centre despite only playing a single game. So I guess something to keep in mind moving forward is those elite guns can do it on a single game week. Doyle, we featured. Magne's up there. Krislovich was pretty cheap, and I thought he was more popular than 3%, but he did well with 46. John Brown, the third from Southeast Melbourne, with 44 in a single game. Freeman Liberty, so Brisbane guards, so one to keep an eye out for this week with a 41. Prather as well scored pretty well, so I think Brisbane's one of the teams with a double game week this week, so I think we'll be leaning pretty heavily into those sort of picks. Jalen Adams making the move across with a 35 as well. So I think lots of great options there for Brisbane. I know they've got break-evens. Do break-evens really matter? I guess all it's going to mean is players like Davidson that you could have played this week for 69k and got 41 points out of. Probably just means that he's going to get more expensive and we're not going to be able to play him in future weeks. So it's just going to get harder and harder, I think, as we go through the season, with players moving in price. But again, it's a new game. I don't really know how it works. So again, with the setup, you've got to pick the team first and then you see the normal screen. So we do have to go into the game day to find out who has a double. So pretty sure from memory it was Brisbane, got Cairns and Adelaide, albeit two away games. And then Cairns do have a home game, but then have to travel down to Sydney on Sunday. So the two Queensland teams are the ones that we're targeting this week with the doubles. Um, and as it would seem, based on averages and stuff, it might be those Brisbane guys that we're looking at more. Um, so yeah, so Prather's probably the one forward there based on the average. So we'll lock him in. Centre, I think Harrison is a pretty easy shout. Although we do have Marcus Lee scored a 30, bit cheaper. So, double that up. So we'll keep that in mind. He might even end up being our sixth man if we've got the cash, but we'll just wait and see. So I guess the guards. So that's where we've got the two, the Adams and Liberty. Uh, don't think we can afford both. I mean, we can afford both, but then we only have 91k for two players, so that doesn't work. So I think we've got to fade Adams just because of the price. Um, yeah, so there is a cheap option at Cairns with Rain Smith, 69k, scored 26, so super helpful in a week like this. Um, I guess that does give us the option of plugging in Lee as our six man, so running the two centres. And so then we just need to find a 192k forward. And you can see here based on the averages that Menenga interestingly only played one game, so not sure what's happening there. Um, even like a Krizlovic at the price could do a job. Malik Lewis. So we could do this could be an interesting one. We could just plug Davidson in only on the one game, but just to see if we get to bank any salary that he makes this week, because he should go up in price after his third game. But I guess we'll also get that from all of these guys, so it's a bit of whatever. Yeah, so actually, was that the right move with Lee? I still don't think we can afford Adams anyway, but I guess at the price, who else do we get? Yeah, so he averaged 30. Yeah, there's no one averaging 30 there. Maybe here. No, not really, but possible, but unlikely perhaps. So I guess we do have to pick a second forward anyway, whichever way we sort of slice it. So um, it's just a question of who do we want. Maybe Menenga. We'll see. So then captain. So they've gone Prather as captain based on a 36. Harrison Bryce. I guess that's based on price. But I guess if we just go off last week's scoring, Harrison captain, Freeman. What's his last name? Liberty. Yeah, Freeman Liberty. Pretty cool last name. Uh, 41. Yeah, I might just stick with that. I think because yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that's the NBL. I guess just quickly with the NBA, have spent a little bit more time looking at the schedule. Did see a podcast from I think it was Insight Fantasy Sports. Shout out to those legends. But yeah, they cover all the sports as well. A lot better than I do. I'm just an amateur doing his best. But I looked at the schedule, things like that, and I've sort of come up with this adjusted lineup. So probably trying to spread the wealth around a bit more. Um, and so with that, we've locked in SGA. He does play 7 games in the first 2 weeks, a 3 and a 4 round. game round to start. So he is like a viable captaincy option both weeks. And we've gone with Luka Doncic as well for the same reason. So the Lakers played 3 and 4 in the first 2 weeks. So a nice schedule for them. So we've gone big at point guard, but I think we can get off to a good start. Um, I guess the cheapy option on the bench is Demon. So it sounds like he's like a locked in starter there at Brooklyn, but probably just doesn't do a lot of the scoring. So he's just going to be a slow burn in terms of any cash gen. Shooting guards, this is where we've gone a little bit mid price. So we sort of had about 20 mil left. So we've landed on Jalen Green, who shout out to, I think it was Oliver in the comments, who sort of asked, what about Jalen Green? Could be a good option considering Durant's moved on. And then Nembard, basically just gone off the ownership. He's about 28% owned. Um, seems to be there seems to be a few sort of mid-price options at Indiana, so maybe he's the one that goes off. And then Nipple, um, did have him at small forward originally, but I've just moved him up into shooting guard since I can. As you can probably see already, it's pretty full of dual position forwards up there at small forward. It's probably the big change is I have dropped Nikola Jokic. So he only plays 5 games in the first 2 weeks, so a 2 and a 3. And while he has the scoring power to probably match any of these guys with an additional game, I just figured we might try and spread the wealth around a little bit more. So I've moved Wemby up into my centre spot. I've gone with Huff on the bench. I think this is slightly different from last week. So it looks like he could be the starting centre at Indiana. There's a bit of a few options there, but yeah, I've locked him in as my cheap centre to begin with, or for now anyway. It's more forward, so I've still got Flag and Bailey, but Bailey only plays 2 games in week one. So I've gone Bazelis, and Bazelis is another one who does only play 2 games in week one, um, but is a bit more established than Bailey. So I've sort of just gone maybe a slightly safer option there out of those two. And then Giannis is still at power forward. Murray Boyles, I think, was the cheapie I had originally. He's still there. But I have gone back to Jalen Williams. So, again, listening to the Inside Boys, apparently he did actually play last year. And then when you look at his stats, he has got games and points from last year, but they've priced him based on not having played at all. So I think yeah, he's going to score some points. He's not going to be, a keeper for the season, but he definitely will make some quick cash early on. And obviously, the bottom dollar price does facilitate a bit of extra cash on like a Bazelis rather than an out and out cheapie. Um, and then the flex, I've gone with Whitmore. So I've used this as another money making position for now. Um, just because I guess Whitmore, there is a bit of talk that he gets good run early season. I think Koulibaly is the guy that he will sort of step up for, who's out injured. So, um, yeah, another one of these sort of guys in the small forward, power forward dual position. So, trying to take advantage of that while we can. But obviously, we'll end up wanting to have 11 sort of keepers by the end of the season. To do that, you need your cheapies to start. So, going to take a punt on going a bit cheaper in the flex. But yeah, it is still early doors. What do we got? We've still got 4 weeks until the first game tips off. So there'll be a few more iterations of this. I'm hoping to do a bit more research on my time off on school holidays and all that. So, but that's the update. Just sort of yeah, going away from pure guns and cheapies, looking for some value. So yeah, if you guys know of any mid prices that are out there, let me know. There's not a lot of information around it because it's usually draft, which is your elite options, and then there is a bit of chat about rookies and cheapies out there. But mid price, there doesn't seem to be too much at the moment. But other than that, we'll wrap it up there. So if you had any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the basketball content, NBA, NBL, all that good stuff. Subscribe for all the other fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.